Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to your own tutor YouTube channel. So, as you know, that previously we actually studied about writing task 2 structure. Now, there are actually different types of essays that come in the IELTS writing task 2, and in this video, we are going to discuss the template. We're not actually going to write the complete essay, but I'm going to tell you about how to approach an IELTS writing task 2 essay. For example, the one that we are going to do today is about agree and disagree essay. All right, so let's get started. All right, so here is the prompt. This is the topic. This is how you would see the topic in the exam as well. Extreme sports such as skydiving and skiing are very dangerous and should be banned. Now, what did I tell you in the previous video? If you haven't watched that one, I urge you to watch that one first and then come on to this video because you would get a fair idea about how to approach it. Right? So, you need to read the prompt twice or thrice, as I told you, and you need to read the complete prompt, not just till here. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now, this word extent is extremely important here. Why? I'm going to tell you in a minute. So, extreme sports. Now, there are some extreme forms of sports. You must have seen ads of Mountain Dew or, for example, Red Bull. You see that people perform skydiving adventures. So there was a guy who actually jumped from space to the earth skydiving, and it was for Red Bull, and he did that. There's actually a video of it as well that you can watch. So these are the kind of extreme sports that people do, and since these are very dangerous, it does provide an adrenaline rush in your body, and some people actually enjoy the thrill. But since these are dangerous, so there exists an opinion that these should be banned altogether by the governments or by whoever is ruling. So, do you agree with this? Now, do you agree that these should be banned or you don't agree? Now, of course, you've got four choices here, right? Now, you need to understand that how to approach this essay. First, let's look at the band. These are the choices. Now, consider this zero as neutral position. This is, you're not supposed to have a neutral position. That means you cannot just say that I don't have an opinion on this essay and just give pros and cons of both the sides of not banning the extreme sports or banning the extreme sports and just say that, okay, so these are the advantages of banning the sports, people's lives would be saved, etc. And then you can say that on the flip side, people are being stopped from expressing themselves fully, so this should not be banned, right? So these are the two opinions that you might have, but you cannot remain neutral in your agree disagree essay. But there are four things that you can do. What you can do is, now many people actually mm, say that you need to either completely agree or disagree or completely agree with the essay prompt. This is the essay prompt. Okay, so you can either completely agree with it and or completely disagree with it. This is the safe position to take, but there are other positions as well. For example, you can partially agree with the prompt that in the government or in the countries where the governments are not able to provide that proper training, safety gear, etc. to the people, then it should be banned. So this is like partially agreeing with the prompt, and there is partially disagreeing with the prompt. For example, if you want to say that it should not completely be banned, so partially agree and partially disagree would be a very similar position, and you can actually uh, choose either of them. But this would be your inclination. This would show, partially disagree would show your inclination towards this part. That means that you almost want to agree that you want to ban it. If there are no resources, etc., it's going to take a toll on the revenue of the government and everything, and the tourism, etc. So you want to ban it, but you can allow it in only a few cases. That means you partially disagree with it or you partially agree with it. Okay, so this would show your inclination. That's why people say that since taking these positions can be a bit tricky in these kinds of essays. So you need to either completely agree or completely disagree. So at heart, you might not be feeling that way. For example, you might not feel that it should be completely banned, but for the sake of writing this essay and for the sake of keeping it simple, what you can do is that you can completely disagree. In this essay, I've tried to partially, let me see in my introduction what position I've taken. Partially disagreed with it, that it should not completely be banned. I disagree with the prompt that it should be banned. Okay, and why? Because I believe that I have my own reasons which I will discuss. Okay, so let's look at the essay first. Let me remind you of the structure that we studied in the last video. If you haven't watched that one, again, I would urge you to watch that. This is the structure, okay? And now you need to look at the keywords. Now these are the keywords in the essay prompt. Extreme sports, this is the keyword because it provides you thrill. And then ban, it is mostly from the government, and they want the people want government interference in these matters, okay? So these are the keywords. Now, why are these keywords important? These keywords are important for generating this general statement about the topic. So you need to have either of these in this general statement of the topic. You need to talk about extreme sports in a general way, or you can talk about governments ban various sports around the world, etc. So you can actually do that. No, sorry, paraphrased. Oh yeah. So general statement I was talking about, and then is the paraphrased prompt, okay, and then your opinion on the topic. And I have actually followed exactly this template in my introduction. So let me show you what I have written here. All right. So many people around the world enjoy the adrenaline rush through extreme adventures without caring for their lives in the process. Now you can see that firstly, just notice the subject verb agreement here. This is the common mistake that people actually make because when they write many people, now these are plural, and without caring for their life, they write. Now, since there are many people, there would be their lives. Okay, so these are just small details that you need to follow. Okay, so this is my general statement about the topic. Many people around the world enjoy the adrenaline rush through extreme adventures. Now, the keyword is used, extreme adventures, without caring for their lives in the process. And then people generally believe, now this is the paraphrased prompt. This is the topic. As I showed you already, extreme sports such as skydiving and skiing are very dangerous and should be banned. So, for actually uh, paraphrasing this, I have written, people generally believe that a form of sports that poses a risk to the life of the people should be completely done away with by the government, while others disagree. Okay, so there are two positions. They are offering you two positions, so you need to mention these two positions in your uh, this paraphrase statement. And then I have written that my opinion is I partially disagree with the prompt, as I believe that if done with precaution, extreme sports can be an avenue for people to enjoy the thrill and adventure of being alive, right? So this actually clearly shows my position on this. All right, I partially disagree with the prompt. So I do not completely disagree that it should be allowed in all its forms, but I partially disagree because I say that it should be allowed, but in a precaution, by taking all the precautions, right? So this is my position on this essay, and it is very important to take a firm position on this essay, especially in the introductory part of it. And then we move towards paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and conclusion. Now, in this essay, I have not completely written the paragraph 1, 2, or the conclusion, but I'm going to give you an idea because we are going to brainstorm the essay together. So what happens is that when you see the prompt, immediately you should take your piece of paper and pen, and you should start writing whatever comes to your mind about the topic. All right, just write 2 to 3 very strong thoughts that come to your mind. For example, when you say extreme sports such as skydiving and skiing are very dangerous and should be banned. Now just think for a moment, why would the government want to ban extreme sports such as skydiving and skiing? One, because these are very dangerous, it is already written. because they want to curb or lessen the loss of human lives, and they want to save people, and it is the responsibility of the government to public safety is basically the responsibility of the government, and that is why they think that it should completely be banned, right? And this is the position. For example, I have taken a partially disagree position. So what if, why do the people who agree with this position actually do so? So first you need to, in the first paragraph, you need to give their opinion as well, the counter opinion as they say. And then you need to destroy that opinion in your second paragraph by giving counter examples that should be strong and also support your point of view and reiterate your point of view. Now this is again very, very important. Let me just tell you this in very simple terms. So, for instance, I partially disagree. Okay, I say that it is very dangerous. It is dangerous. I do agree with that, but it should not be banned. That is my position. It is dangerous, but it should not be banned. Okay, that is my position. But when I am writing the first paragraph, I would give the examiner an idea that I do understand the position taken by the people who want to ban the sports altogether. So, for example, there's a group of people who want to ban extreme sports such as skydiving and skiing. So, you need to demonstrate your understanding that yes, I do understand what their point of view is, and you need to show it in this paragraph. For example, and this is the structure that we need to follow: thesis statement telling what the paragraph is about. I'll come up with this later. Then give two strong reasons. So you need to come up with two strong reasons in support of the topic, even though I am partially disagreeing with it, but I need to come up with two statements in support of this. So what would be my two reasons, two strong reasons? Number one is it can cause irreparable loss or physically damage one for the rest of the life if not done with care. So this is sports. If they do it, if they don't do it with care, it can cause irreparable loss for them. People might die, people might lose a limb or two, people might lose their arms or legs, etc., and be disabled for the rest of their lives. And this is a huge problem, and that's why people want to ban it. And then saving human lives should be a priority for the government, so they should altogether ban it. And then I have given, after giving these two reasons, these are two strong reasons, I need to give examples. So many newspapers actually report accidents due to bad weather, non-availability of proper safety gear, and a lack of proper training for skydivers or for people who are skiing, right? So this would be my example. These would be my examples, or I can actually write other examples as well. You can actually add other examples here. And then finally, you need to write, hence, people generally believe that instead of resolving these issues, it's better to ban the sports altogether. So now I am demonstrating my understanding of the prompt that it should be banned. Now I have written it, but in the second paragraph, I need to come up with strong reasons as to why I have taken a position of not banning it and I have partially disagreed with the prompt. So this is my understanding of the second paragraph. First would be a general statement. I have not written it here. I have just written the reasons. Adventure and thrill are an essential form of self-expression for the people who are passionate about such sports. Now, this could be any reason. It's not like that they are going to judge you by the content that you write. They are just going to judge you by the mechanics of the language that you write. But it is always good to have strong opinion on things in the IELTS, and it really helps you fetch good marks. And I believe that this is the difference between a 7.0 and a 7.5. Okay. So the second part is, if done with care, training and precaution, it can generate revenue for the government through tourism and can be a form of promotions for various brands. As I mentioned earlier, that it is a form of promotion for brands like Red Bull and Mountain Dew, and I could use them as examples here. Okay. Extreme sports is a multi-million dollar industry around the world and should be allowed, but with some precautions like proper training, safety gear, and providing with safety gear, and after monitoring weather conditions through latest gadgets. Nowadays we have technological advancement, and we can actually monitor weather patterns earlier and then go for these extreme adventures. So I think this is my position, and then I would write conclusion just like we did previously. So this is how you should come up with a template. Immediately you need to come up with you need to practice writing this type of an introduction. Okay, you need to have a general statement about the topic, paraphrasing the prompt, and then state your position clearly, and then you need to come up with these. Okay, now you in the exam when you are brainstorming about the topic, brainstorming means you need to think about the examples that come to your mind. You need to think of four decent examples, one for the topic and one against the topic. And then you need to, for example, it is an advantages and disadvantages essay that doesn't ask your opinion, but it just asks you to write advantages and disadvantages. We'll come to that as well. I will be discussing that in a lot more detail. But just to give you an idea, you would be thinking about two main advantages, okay, the reasons for this advantage, and then you need to write two examples or three examples, as many as you can include to support your point of view. Conclude the paragraph with concluding paragraph one, and then for paragraph two you'll follow the same structure, but you will have examples of disadvantages. Okay, so one for two for advantages, two for disadvantages reasons, and two examples. And this is the structure that I'm talking about. Thesis statement, what the paragraph is about. This is just one small line, and then give two strong reasons. This is going to be extremely important. Follow the reasons with two examples or three examples, whichever come to your mind. Conclude the paragraph with an overview of the position the paragraph takes. Okay, so this is basically the structure that you need to follow. All right, and conclusion also has a structure. If you haven't watched that video, again I would encourage you to watch that video of mine and to be very clear about how to approach task 2 essays. So this was another topic. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions. If you have written an essay and want to get this get checked or graded by me, you can actually do so by approaching the link, approaching me on the link in the description for my Fiverr gig, and you can place an order and I will get back to you with the feedback as soon as possible. All right, thank you. See ya.